Tell me what you think of Ombre and Smokey Joe. Which one is your favorite? If you're into registered quarter horses, obviously Smokey Joe would be your favorite, I'm sure. Goes back to Hancock and Pepto-Bismol. And then you got Ombre, that's just a Navajo Mustang, but his story's pretty cool. And they just learned to be a smarter horse. They learned some common sense. And so that's why these two boys are down here. Good morning, farm friends. The other day I went live and I kind of introduced you to this idea, and we came over and checked on Ombre and on Smokey Joe. But if you didn't watch that live, or if you just love either of these horses, you're gonna enjoy this update. So let's see how they're doing. Good morning, boys. How are you? I gotta grab some more hay here. And let me tell you what's going on. Why are these two boys down here by themselves? And where are they at? So here's Ombre. And those of you that have followed our channel know him very well. I got him probably 6 months ago. Has it been that long now? Probably. And we've kept him the whole winter, so he was $25 at an auction. I went to an auction. He was laying in the pen outside the auction before he came through the ring. Looked like he was dead. Then he got up, but he was colicking. He was skin and bones, and I may go over here so I can get over in with him, so we're not looking over the fence. Let me move myself here. So he just was in bad shape, but they brought him through. His brands were not healed, and so they were infected, and he looked horrible, and he was literally about starved to death. His neck was just so skinny, he looked deformed because there was no muscle in his neck at all. Well, I was the only one that bid on him, and I got him for $25, and we brought him home and started taking care of him. I had to give him Banamine to calm his gut down so he would stop colicking. He started to eat and started to heal, and this is him. And like I say, this is a review to many of you that watch our channel all the time, so I apologize, but you probably don't mind seeing an update on him. We tried to get him castrated, and only one testicle could be found, and so the other one was retained in his abdomen. And so now we're gonna save up some money and find a vet that takes care of crypt orchids, is what they call them, which is a retained testicle, or a testicle that's up in the abdomen, and it's an expensive surgery, and so that's complicated things. But since he thinks he's still a little stallion, and he is, we could call him the one nut wonder. So, because he's only got one right now, because the other one we did find, but since he's needing to be castrated the rest of the way, we're kind of just waiting. And since he thinks he's a little stallion, or he is a little stallion, I didn't want him over by the mares. As pretty as he is, he's not one we want to breed our registered mares to. And so that's why he's over here in the Bachelor Pad. Well, sorry, there's a lot of sound here, and that's why I have him down in this pasture. I'll tell you here in a second. I've got a truck coming by, so that's why I brought Smokey Joe down here. See that? I love that Smokey just got afraid of that semi truck. That's why I have him here. I have him where there's semi-trucks, there's trains, there's little ditches, and there's little trees, and there's cactus, and there's gopher holes, and there's just all kinds of obstacles. And I've found that the more obstacles that they deal with, the better they become as horses. Did you see how he just jumped across that little ditch? That may not seem like a big deal, but those of you that have trail ridden horses, sometimes you'll get a horse that will not go over a little ditch. Well, if they've been around these ditches and stuff their whole life, watch, I'm gonna back up as I'm talking. See how there's a little ditch there? Well, Ombre just chose to walk through it. Let's see if Smokey Joe will jump over it. Either way, they're learning to navigate and move. See? Okay, he just walked right through it too. Last time he jumped because he was going a little faster. But I decided to bring Smokey Joe down here to keep Ombre company and just to give him some experience. In this pasture, I call it the Native Pasture. It's a friend's pasture, and I'm so blessed that they let me put horses out here. I have to bring feed out here, but you got I-40 on one side, you got a cement plant that makes all kinds of noise and semi-trucks, and then you got the train right behind it, the train track. And so you got about 15 acres of brush and ditches and gopher holes, and they just learn to be a smarter horse. They learn some common sense. And so that's why these two boys are down here. So tell me what you think. Smokey Joe's standing funny in that ditch right now. He is a registered quarter horse. He's a blue roan. He's by my Stallion 66. As I kind of scared him away. I wasn't trying to scare him away, I just wanted him to move. So I have Ombre that's a red roan and Smokey Joe that's a blue roan. And that means that the black color is his base with white frosting, and Ombre has red color as his base with white frosting. So if that makes sense. So you can see Ombre's got the really pronounced red head and red feet. And so he's what you call a red roan. And then Smokey Joe is black, but you can see the white coming in, the white frosting underneath. I cannot wait to see him when he's all shed off. And like I say, he's a son of my Stallion 66. Can't wait to see how he turns out. His mom is one of the Martin's quarter horse mares. And those of you that remember our channel, or watch our channel, not remember our channel, watch our channel consistently, know that my Stallion 66 spent the last 2 years at Martin's Quarter Horses in Bayfield, Colorado. And they've got some gorgeous horses. That's where Peppy came from, Gold 66, Blue Mickey, and now Smokey Joe here. And they leased my Stallion 66 for the past 2 years. And I got one of his babies, and my cousin Hambre got another one. She calls hers Pepsi. They keep walking away from the feed, which is fine. It shows that they're not overly hungry. I've been bringing lots of feed out here. Ombre is still just kind of skittish, but once I get him caught, he leads really well. He lets me mess with his feet. He's just really come along. And Smokey Joe's kind of at the same point in his training. once I get a halter on him, he's letting me lead him and do some cool stuff with him. But hey, isn't he a pretty boy? So that's where their water is, over there. Someone asked last time, they're like, don't they have water? And I'm like, if they didn't have water, they'd be dead. So yes, I make sure they have water. Smokey Joe, why do you keep running off? But like I say, I actually like that they have room. Oh, you can hear the train coming. Watch, we'll see the train here in just a second. See, and I like that the train goes right by this pasture. There's so many sights and sounds that they really learn to just be smart horses with lots of common sense. But if you want a baby by a Martin's quarter horse mare and my Stallion 66, this is your only spring or summer to have that happen, because 66 has now been leased by Black Diamond Ranch in Blanding, Utah. So I can't wait to introduce you to those mares and to Kenneth Black that owns them, because 66 has been exposed to some amazing mares at Martin's Quarter Horses, and now he will be introduced to some more amazing mares at Black Diamond Ranch in Blanding, Utah. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the update. Those of you that watched my live the other day, hey, how are you, buddy? Are you gonna come up and let me pet you? That would be awesome. Oh, good boy. Good boy. So there you have it. Tell me what you think of Ombre and Smokey Joe. Which one is your favorite? If you're into registered quarter horses, obviously Smokey Joe would be your favorite, I'm sure. Goes back to Hancock and Pepto-Bismol. And then you got Ombre, that's just a Navajo Mustang, but his story's pretty cool. And I think he's quite the looker. They decided they wanted to come drink before they go finish breakfast. I think they're both pretty boys, and they're getting a great experience being out here on this native pasture. I cannot wait to see him once all this winter coat comes off. See, that's the kind of thing, running through the trees like that, that's invaluable. It really is. If they're in a corral with no trees or no brush or no mud holes or no cactus, then they just don't learn to watch their feet, watch where they're going. Well, guys, thanks for coming along today. Tell me what you think of these two beautiful boys.